You're using way too many napkins.
Bananas, pajamas.
Janet. What else? Pathetic.
Mommy! This has been a long time coming, eh?
Fuck, we planned this shit like what? How many years ago? Like
What was it?
2 years ago or something.
Roundabout, I think.
Like the whole idea was, gotta start a YouTube channel.
Let's just talk crap.
And then fucking podcast.
Anyway,
We finally got things going, bro.
that's true. It's high time. Yo, Cape Town.
Something in my fucking eye.
Clean your eyes. We in a setup right here. If people are trying to wonder, we got this cool Workshop 17.
Yo, look at
soundproof
this
room,
space.
Harrington Street. They're really amazing. Offers us like soundproof. We good though. But anyway, what was I saying? Cape Town, they're fining homeless people on pavements. If they're sleeping on pavements, they're fining them.
But that's been like going on for years. Like, sorry.
What's stupid and dumb is you're gonna fine them. How are they gonna pay it? Are you sending them off to like some camp to work it off? Are you gonna send them to prison if they can't pay the fine? Literally, if a homeless person's taking up pavement space,
They're gonna fine homeless
people on the pavement. If you're taking up pavement space, we're gonna fine you. And how are you going to pay?
What white Jewish lady came up with this shit?
There's too many fucking homeless people on the pavements here. They need to be fined.
Do you know what I think? I truly think we're trying to be too Eurocentric.
Bruh, yeah, of course. I mean, we have so many fucking Europeans coming over here. So now we've got to appeal to them.
And it's not a problem, but I think the issue is we're trying to be too Eurocentric in an African state, and therefore now we're already poor.
Yeah.
We're at 45%? 45% I think, unemployment. So if you have 45% unemployment, you're gonna have homeless people.
We too of the 45%.
Freelancers, by the way, so I'm unemployed, unfortunately.
Oh,
but I don't know, hey.
like what? I mean,
I'm really curious if it really is gonna happen that way.
but who came up with this idea? Governments or what?
DA, bro. I would say DA.
Fuck, man.
It can't be ANC because ANC is basically saying that's wrong, but nationally we've screwed up. But you're wrong, DA. You're wrong for what you're doing, though. You've taken over our bullshit, but you're wrong. You know, so.
But how are they gonna? Firstly, how are they gonna find beggars? Beggars don't even work.
I truly don't know. Unless they make like work. I know it sounds really messed up, but like work camps.
What the Chinese had going, right? When I went to China, there was not one beggar sleeping on the street unless their lower half was blown off, like, I don't know, from stepping on a fucking mine or something. I'm not supposed to laugh, but fuck, I mean...
Messed up. This is so messed up. No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at people getting blown up. I'm just like, it takes to that point where somebody's half blown off to be like, okay.
Like, the fucked up thing was, I was walking on the street with my parents, and I saw this guy, and I got a bit of a fright. I was like, fuck! Is he like stuck in a sinkhole or something? And then I looked, like, half of himself was fucking gone. But yeah, like...
Look, it's I guess in essence...
The poor people work out there,
Not even
bro.
in essence, it's just... I think gradually, like I said, we are trying to create these ideas. I mean, at one point in gardens where they put up a fencing to not allow people to sleep in certain areas. So it's basically the gentrification that's happening in the inner city. They're pushing everybody out to allow European money to take over the spaces, the rent space, the buildings that they're building for the Europeans, I guess. And I guess their money and their lives count more than South Africans.
I mean, if we were a patriotic country like the Chinese,
Oh crap.
we could definitely have the poor people collecting recycling, cleaning the streets, and collecting a wage. That's what they do out in China. They collect recycling. They go to the recycling areas, and they get a wage from it.
Funny enough, you say that. Generally, there are poor guys who do that.
Oh,
They
for
do.
real?
No, they do. They do collect. They go to
Yeah,
events.
yeah.
They collect the cans. They take it
Okay.
to the scrapyard. But there are some parts of neighborhoods that have signs.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find it, but we just don't have network. But
No, we don't have
there's
internet at
there's
the
this
moment.
first one, guys. There's areas where they have these signs of it's like a stick man dragging a big square shape.
Yeah.
And usually these big bags are basically full of their recycling, and it's on wheels, and they drag it. It said they're not allowed to be in the neighborhood. So I don't know. You're trying to deter away criminals or crime. It doesn't work. These are innocent people who are trying. Those who
sure.
are trying
For sure.
are being told now, well, you can try, but just don't try here. We don't
Yeah,
need you
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So,
Which is fucked up.
yeah, man.
I think it's fucked up. 'Cause
I don't know.
Like I feel like South Africans generally only want to help when it suits them.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like sometimes.
Yes.
Like, oh, look at me. I'm fucking at a soup kitchen giving soup to the poor. Like, alright, but what else are you doing that's actually gonna help?
Here's the frustrating bit sometimes is I get people want to show that you're helping, and sometimes I guess look, it's your social media, it's your want to take pictures of when you're doing a soup kitchen or giving out bread.
It kind of makes
but,
you look like a fucking dick.
But end of the day, I truly
it's
think
like-
sometimes some people who are in these spaces really don't want to be on camera because it's sort of like it's their dignity at hand, and they feel like I don't want to be exposed to this. Give me soup, but don't take a picture of me.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I always think, like, if you're going to do such work, just do it out of the goodness of your heart. But just, if you're going to catch a picture, fine. But just don't catch the face of because to them, it's like they need this food, and you're taking this opportunity to make it a media thing. At least take the picture from them behind them, their back.
Yeah.
But-
Because it kind of taking a picture of them at a soup kitchen, it just makes them feel a little bit more worthless. Like,
Yeah.
they're already struggling and they
Yeah.
feel worthless, and now you want to take a picture. It's like, hey, I'm with a poor person. Look at me giving soup. I'm doing a good deed.
Exactly.
I would be like if I'm going to a soup kitchen, I'll just text you and be like, do you want to join me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Simple.
not going to go and post it on social media.
But you know,
for,
it's
for what reason? I don't know.
social,
I'm an
society,
influencer, therefore.
influence. Talking of influences,
Bruh. How do you feel about influencers? Because I'm.
look, here's the thing. I truly believe, like, the name itself, when you say I'm influencing, I've garnered up so much support of followers and everything else. Now, one should utilize that influence to fight maybe a cause, to speak out on a lot of things, to expose truths, to do as much as possible, because I think a lot of influencers, and I'm not bashing their grind. I'm
we're
all
not
for
going to bash them anyway.
you grinded, you've worked your way up, you've done everything, but I think some people tippy-toe around the fact that, okay, I'm influenced, but I'm scared to say anything because I could lose out on something. Versus, I have so many people who I could educate on what's truly happening.
Exactly.
Or create dialogue. Because I think our biggest failure right now in this state is that there's not enough dialogue on many topics.
Yeah.
It's more of like something comes up, we're angry, it's the government, it's the DA, it's the blacks, it's the whites, it's the coloreds, but there's not enough dialogue to deal with it.
I think why there isn't enough dialogue is it's because we live in such sensitive times right now.
True.
And it makes it so damn tough to kind of voice something. You can voice anything.
Exactly.
Someone is gonna attack you, and then that's gonna go on Twitter, and if it reaches Black Twitter, you know you fucked.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get massacred on there.
And I think truly though, I think because again.
But then it kind of defeats the purpose of being allowing people to be an influencer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. The reality is, in our history, in our context, the past was never addressed thoroughly enough to deal with it. We only addressed it. I truly believe the TRC in itself only was there to address a few people and to address the international community to say, while we are together, we've dealt with it. What MP or minister during the National Party's era went to prison?
Yeah.
It was only their henchmen, the people who were on the ground who was doing the dirty work, they went to prison. They had to face the music. So, so for now, the reality is why people of color are still quite angry. We are still angry. We're still uncomfortable. We still see the racism and we still attack it is because it still exists. People are arrogant enough to think, well, look, Tabo, get over it. Okay? The past is the past. It happened. You need to move on together.
It's like 400 years.
But you've got the land. You've got everything you've taken. You've got the advantage. You've got the privilege.
Yeah.
So let's work. It's like Trevor put it. I don't know. He made this Oscar Pistorius analogy type of. He used that as an example. It's like white people have legs and they're fired and they walked ahead.
Man,
we are Oscar.
4 legs, man.
We are Oscar.
4 legs.
We've got our blades on still, and we're still trying to learn how to walk with them.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to learn how to walk with our
Hands
blades.
down, man.
But of course, we didn't gun anybody down. But anyway, we still working towards a target to create unity in the country.
Yeah.
And we can't create it if continuously people are against the most obvious truth. That it's still very much the economy is not ours. Most of the financial institutions are not owned by us. And I'm not saying we're just going to there to take what we didn't create, but there has to be a balance to say, well, it's a new society, it's a new structured country. There's it's a multicultural country. We can't still have 80% of executive positions belonging to white people. And again, you might say, no, but they must work hard for the position. Black people of color are working hard.
They're working damn hard.
But it's just people don't get it. People get oppressed out of positions to not succeed, and it's the truth.
And this is what I wanted to ask you. So I saw on Facebook like people sharing the whole thing about land expropriation without compensation, and then a few people shared the report on Fox. There was an interview, maybe not an interview, but it was put on Fox News. Yeah. And they were saying that they want land expropriation without compensation. Now, you know, I'm all for it. Yeah. But at the same time, like, how do you feel about for example, just kicking a white man off the farm? Okay. And saying, okay, we're taking our land back. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah. And we're not going to compensate you with even a little bit of money. Exactly. Is it going to be like that?
No. First and foremost, we need to structurally look at it. I think
because a lot of white people on Facebook are getting so terrified. Everyone is sharing this shit. And they're like, oh, they're just going to kick white people off and they're just going to take the land. This is fucked up.
You know, that's the thing. It goes back to the point that I said earlier on. Once it affects...
excuse me. The perks of fucking recording on your phone. Man. Everyone just phones and interrupts.
Step one.
So we were back again. We just got interrupted on a phone call. That's what happens when you record with your phone.
Now. We're going to build up on the equipment. We're going to get there. But for now, this is good for us.
So yeah, continuing with the whole land expropriation thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll obviously have heard the question already.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, white people are getting a bit terrified that they're gonna just be
kicked out,
booted out, and get no compensation and just, I don't know, basically be poor. Like, is it gonna be like that or
no? Here's the thing. Willing buyer, willing seller was the first step that was taken, initiative that was taken earlier on in years of Thabo Mbeki and the Honourable Dad Thabo Mbeki in his time. Willing buyer, willing seller. So whereby if they're a willing seller who has the land, are you willing to sell? We are willing to buy. Okay. And if they say no, cool, we just move along and we go buy from somebody else. But with that, not a lot of people were willing to sell. Of course, I also see a lot of stories where people are sharing farms that were bought and were in the hands of the government, and 2 years down the line, the farms were literally like not in use, like decommissioned type of a thing. They weren't being used. They weren't passed on to people to be built on, and so on and so forth. So now, what people don't realize is we are questioning the Constitution in itself. We are questioning the chart in itself that was written to say, hey, listen, we want land without compensation. It was taken, so therefore it must be given back. I think that's pretty straightforward when we look at it. To think people are going to come to your house, like what happened in Zimbabwe, come to your house and kick you out. No, that's not the case.
Yeah, because that's what they were comparing it to on Fox News.
Of course, they always compare. And funny enough, with that, even when they had said that, Fox had said that, and they were going to they sent people through the embassy, American embassy here, sent back a letter and said, no, none of that is happening. We've read, it's people need to understand legislation is amended. That legislation has been there. It hasn't not been. It's always been there. It needs to be. It needed to be amended to the point to say, listen, now without compensation, but it will be done in such a manner to prove that land was taken in certain districts and areas, and now you have to give it back. It is what it is. We can't tiptoe around this as if it never happened. The one factor to really colonize a nation, colonize a people, is to take away the one thing that gives them power: food, cattle, dignity, housing, water, shelter, is land. So that was taken away from many families. We can go to District 6, we can go to there's so many areas, the colored communities, people were moved. District 6, people were successful businesses. They could have been millionaires by now. But
for sure.
The millionaires now are other white people's businesses that succeeded in the very spaces. So people need to understand context. They need to understand from our perspective as to why this is happening. To think we're just going to waltz up into your house and kick you out, no, that's not going to happen. This is going to be strategically done. Of course, you can then question, okay, I hope it will be done properly, because our government has a tendency not to implement something structurally and properly, and for it to successfully happen.
I think that's that's the reason why they
and I know it's now. That, but a lot of same thing with a lot of white people. Also, just generally, it's just like, well, get over it. It's not my fault that my ancestors
and especially the newer generation.
Of course,
they ill-educated about the past.
Think about it.
You know,
here's the reality that people need to understand, is that a lot of the young generation never were there for apartheid.
Oh yeah.
But you still were born in it, in the sense of you never experienced the full-blown impact of apartheid. But after it was abolished, you still feel it. You're born, you see it. Or somebody's still calling you the K word. Or somebody's still oppressing you in the workplace because, well, you're not white. Or somebody's still
especially
oppressing you.
By the way you talk as well. If you don't speak like this.
Exactly. So I think, going back to the land issue, it's just, it's being repeated continuously, where it's just, oh my gosh, you can't do this, you can't just take what's not yours, you can't do this.
I mean, at the same time, if you go back 400 years, how things were taken, I mean, who's to say that, you know, the dark skins can't do it the same way?
No,
right
but this is the thing. Let's think about it structurally. And
I mean, it will just cause chaos.
It wouldn't make sense.
If it happened like that, it would just cause so much chaos.
It wouldn't make sense for it. I always say to people, if things had to happen, it should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
It should have happened like in the 90s. It should have happened then, where there's civil war. It should have happened, but it didn't. And what people don't get is, a lot of people have suppressed themselves to the degree it's like, listen, I don't want war. I don't want fighting.
No one wants
I just want to work, make a living, feed my family, just live a life where I'm not going to be oppressed in any space where suddenly if I'm occupying a space that literally doesn't have a lot of people of color, suddenly people feel uncomfortable. It's that point of people feeling uncomfortable that needs to be addressed. We're not addressing these issues. And sometimes at the same time, politically, these are just political moves to win votes, to garner support, to say, well, now we're gonna just obviously land expropriation without compensation. We're gonna do it now.
Yeah.
And sometimes you realize it's just a gimmick for the people to get the support, but then it takes so long and they stretch it out purposefully because they know we're just garnering the support. So to think that if people don't realize the fact that people are so pro this movement should give you an indication on how important land is. Where we're talking about families that have successfully had for generations, generational wealth. I'm talking about farmers. You can go to steadies. You can go generational wealth. And then the question would be, well, if you get the land, what are you going to do with it? Which I hate that question because here's the thing: you guys that have gone into farming. You've had, how long have you gotten the chance to go through trial and error?
Yeah.
You've gotten the chance to go through trial and error through your farming and you succeeded with it. Okay, this is how I'm going to farm grapes. This is how I'm going to farm oranges. This is how I'm going to farm apples. I'm successful in it. I've created my own logistical route, everything. I've succeeded. Now because we're saying, well, give us the land. Now we've got the land. Oh, what you going to do? And you're going to go refer back to those pictures of the government failing in some farming projects.
Yeah.
Of course, corruption is rife. Corruption is a big problem. And unfortunately, this is what we're struggling with because on top of that, the people we trust as leaders, you put them in these positions, they screw us over. Now you're giving even more of an excuse to say, well, expropriation without compensation is not going to succeed because you guys can't even run a simple portfolio for the people. So I think I get what white people are saying, but at the same time, it has to happen because
for sure
we have to balance society. And funny enough, there was a guy on Instagram that inboxed me, and he was like, so stupid, balance. And I said, I love that you say balance. You first say what I'm saying is stupid. But you say balance. And that's exactly what we need. That's what we're doing. The balance we're asking for and the balance we're trying to do, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to create opportunity. But every time, I truly think our downfall, every single time when you're trying to create projects of this nature or trying to implement legislation such as this nature, is just the lack of leadership. It's the corruption. It's projects continuously failing, which give reason then to say, well, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's basically in our hands every single time, and we keep screwing it up.
Fuck, man, this like every time we have these discussions, it just feels like there's so much work to do, and like we're always looking at the government and we're always complaining about the government, but how do you think we're gonna implement change in the government? Like my honest thought is getting in some youths in there.
Oh my God, bro! For how long have you said this?
But at the same time, I feel like the youths of today don't kind of want to get into politics.
You know what?
Here's
the thing. There is actually a lot of youth that want to get into politics, but sometimes they view it in a sense as like get rich quick type of a scheme, because once I'm in government, I'm going to earn almost 900,000 Rand a year.
And that's like entry level.
That's standard as an MP. I think it's 900,000 if I'm correct. Damn it, if I had internet, would have seen. But I think it's 900K a year. And I think the problem is the old guard that are in parliament now, which is like a flippin' old age home, they truly are holding on to these positions because I think it's either they fear change, they fear a young mind coming in to say, listen, let's call a spade, we need to fix what needs to be fixed. There's corruption, we need to deal with it straight on. And the biggest problem is because there's so many factions in government. They're fighting themselves, and then we have to watch. And then once they're done fighting, then they will decide to lead.
Yeah.
All our parastatals, all our state-owned enterprises are all other than, I'm not sure other, but almost all of them are becoming bankrupt. They keep asking for bailouts. They keep asking for help. And every single time we put people in these positions that don't know how to run SAA, they don't know how to run an energy utility. They don't know these things. They have so many advisors around them who have their own agendas, own corrupt views. So end of the day, it's just like,
it feels like everyone's just out for themselves.
Yes,
man.
the one major issue which we're using for votes, land expropriation without compensation, then is shrouded and surrounded with all these other major issues that if these things don't function, it screws the country over.
Yeah.
So I think more than anything, we need to put something on hold to deal with something first. So you can deal with land expropriation without compensation, but then you have to deal with ESCOM, you have to deal with SAA, you have to deal with Denal right now also, you have to deal like our medical system, our state hospitals. To this day, I don't get why an old woman, like that video, I don't know if you saw, a woman that was chained to one of these state hospitals, like, because they just like literally tied her hands underneath chairs.
Jesus.
And the daughter arrived and she freaked out and she's just like, how can you tie an old woman? These are how it is. And at the same time, as much as we can blame the nurses and blame, these men and women are working under so much pressure because the government is not implementing what it needs. There are some places that don't even have enough ambulances in 2019. And there is a budget. The tax is collected. Almost like R1 trillion is collected, I think, every year. But still, we're failing. We keep failing in this department every single time. So, it's again, it goes back to lack of leadership. It's putting people who failed on paper in other portfolios, and you put them in positions, and they fail again. How are they going to change it if they didn't fix? It's like Mutele, I think, he was the for health minister, He's now in Home Affairs. He didn't finish his job there, but now he's head of Home Affairs. So it's these things that I think frustrate South Africans, and I think white people should also understand. Black people are frustrated. Why do you think people
just
strike?
As much, man. Just
Why
as
do
much.
people think we strike so much?
Yeah.
We choose not to kill people. We choose to strike. Of course, sometimes these strikes go out of hand. Things are damaged. People die. And it's unfortunate because I think that trend also needs to kind of change.
But look, there's always going to be a few bad seeds.
Always.
No matter what, that's going to cause some bit of chaos.
Exactly.
And it's going to fuck it up for the entire group.
Exactly.
I mean,
our country has so much potential. So much potential. To think we are, 23 years?
Yeah.
23 years of democracy? And with the democracy, so we're still fairly young.
Yeah.
But there's no excuse to where we're at. We should be eons, like years ahead in terms of technology, in terms of health, in terms of housing, in terms of our economy shouldn't be where it's at. Is that going to echo?
Fucking...
These people just come here and make noise. I thought they said this is like soundproof. Doesn't sound soundproof. Drilling.
It's fine though.
I thought we wouldn't have these issues from those BMs just drilling.
Yes, like how hilarious is it? Like in this WhatsApp group in my area. So we live in a white area. Gardens, it's white.
White is white.
Like one of the token colors living in that area.
I'm a visitor in my own city, yo.
I feel so privileged to live amongst them. And so there's this WhatsApp group called the O Watch. I don't know what the O stands for, but
O Watch.
Oppressive Watch. Yo! Shit, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's deep.
That is deep.
The Oppressive Watch. So in the WhatsApp group, like everyone pussyfoots around. So it's just like a whole bunch of white people, and Merle, she's part of it. I don't get involved in that WhatsApp group because I don't want my phone buzzing. I'm already part of like the Renzo WhatsApp group, 2 WhatsApp groups. Then there's our WhatsApp group. Then there's this one. There's just too many.
I think there like 7 WhatsApp groups.
Bruh.
I think it's like the same people in all. Like, why do they have so many?
I'd rather just have individual messages than WhatsApp groups. So I'm not a part of it, and she is on it, and so now there's always break-ins in the area,
of course,
and it's quite messed up, and some people almost getting raped and almost getting stabbed. It's serious in those areas. I honestly didn't realize. I thought white area is not going to be much, but there's a fuck ton of crime happening there.
It's easy pickings, man.
And so there's always a message going off at night, in the morning. Oh, there's a this guy there, there's that guy there. So basically they abbreviate it. They're like, oh, there's a BM. So Mo's like, yo, there's a BM down the road.
Yeah.
We need to go check if he's not breaking into our car. I was like, what? A BM? Immediately I thought of the baker's man. You know? It was like biscuits.
BM, I would have thought a car. Okay,
it's like a BM. Okay, fuck, BMW. But I don't understand. She's like, no, man, a black man. I'm like, why don't they just say a black man or a colored man or a white man?
Making me nervous.
It's like, no, everyone's so sensitive. You're not allowed to say if they're black or white. It was one day when Mo's like, oh, guys, there's a colored guy in the streets opening up the cars. We need to go after him. And there's one lady texts back saying, Mo, but she texted Mo out of the group.
Serious?
She's like, Mo, it's very inappropriate of you to use that type of language. She's like, what language? You can't say the word colored or black in the group. People are gonna find offense. Who's gonna find offense? I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. Even now, I'm heated right now because these people are just breaking in. They break into my car every time. I'm paying $800 almost every month to replace my window. I can say whatever the fuck I want. It's like, no, you can't use such offensive and inappropriate language. And I said to Mo, like, does this woman know that you are colored?
You colored?
Mo's like, that's actually a good question.
I didn't think
like,
so.
just tell her there. Tell her in the text. Oh, by the way, do you know I'm a colored woman? And then she gets a phone call from the woman. Oh, I just want to apologize. I'm sorry. I honestly thought you were a white
So you got the privilege. We can say it.
I thought you were a white woman. So, well, since you're colored, by all means, use the language in the group, but we will just abbreviate it.
She's so funny because
it's like, come on, man.
It's like
you guys are in an enclosed WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Majority is white. You guys didn't even know Mo was colored.
Exactly. You could have said anything.
So she wouldn't have screenshotted and put you on Twitter.
Exactly.
You guys would have been fine. So you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
BM, CM. The funny thing is, it's like when the K word pops up. When the K word pops up,
I mean, that's.
No one is as defensive. No one is as like, no, you can't say. It's like, man, it's just a word.
It's like, get over it,
we need to move along. You know, the power. You know, words shouldn't harm you that much. And I always explain to people, like, as much as the K word is just a word to you, people have died trying to fight that system. People have gone to prison. People have lost family members. People have lost fathers, daughters, mothers, to a system, an oppressive system that used that very word to oppress people. So the reason why we cancel it out, and we're not like America where they've owned it to a point where it's like it's a part of us. We're using the word nigger, it's a part. Yeah. For us, no, because it brings so much pain.
We haven't gotten to that point where we've taken it mainstream. Because if you think about it, like with hip hop culture and all that shit, we don't. You don't hear in Kwaito culture using the K word.
There actually was.
Have they?
Arthur, he had used one of his songs, old school. I think Don't Call Me.
Is he the only one that used it?
As I remembered, yes. Maybe there've been artists, I don't know. But I clearly remember Arthur did.
But it hasn't gotten to the effect where Americans use the N-word.
No, and I don't think it ever will. I don't think it ever will.
It's such a strong.
I don't think it ever will. Word. As much as even Trevor Noah used it as one of his comedy shows. Yeah, careful this. You can call me. I'm like, cool. You laugh about it, but I guarantee you, you can't. Yeah. You'll be the only group of people doing that in the whole of the country, and it's not going to last long. It didn't last long.
Yeah. No.
So, I think rather get rid of it.
I mean,
Don't.
even in the Arabic, it's an
Yeah,
Arabic
like-
word, kafir.
Say, like, what is it?
Non-believer.
Non-believer.
And I'm sure in the Arab culture, when you say someone is a non-believer,
Exactly.
that's very offensive.
Exactly.
It's like in Japan,
Perfect.
when you call someone a gaijin.
Exactly.
Like for us, it's like, oh, gaijin.
Yeah,
It's fine. But in the Japanese culture,
Offensive.
it's an offensive word, which
Exactly.
means outside or white man or
Exactly.
or non-Japanese person.
So that is why I'm saying we shouldn't take these things lightly. And these things, had these things been dealt with after our first democratic election, where we deal with the land issue, we deal with these characteristics of the past, from National Party to putting those who were in the executive positions of allowing the killings, the kidnappings, the beatings, everything. We put them in prison, and they learn. It's like Germany with the Holocaust. Till this day, they're still arresting Nazis who are still alive.
Yeah.
They've made law that I think you go to prison for 5 years or something if you have the swastika on. So these laws are there to make sure to give you an understanding that this mustn't happen again.
For sure.
Now, am I for, in terms of the removal of historic things that sort of remind you of the past? I wouldn't like these things to be removed, because end of the day, it's a
history.
reminder to say,
Yeah.
listen, let's not get back to this.
Yeah.
Now, would I put them in such a state as if they can be praised? Of course not. But in a state where it's like, this is where we were.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop, by all means necessary, anything that tries to bring us back to that thinks the past was better. And I find it odd when people say, I read somebody's storyline once, I won't say his name, quite famous guy, white guy. He had said things were so much better before the ANC. And clearly there's only one thing that was before the ANC, and that was the National Party. So a lot of white people feel this way. And of course they would feel this way, because guess what? They were privileged in that sense. They got what they wanted. Things were good. They were first at jobs, first at any opportunity. And black people of color, rather, were given the menial jobs. They were limited to a degree. There were an exception few that got successful businesses, but still it was tough for them.
Yeah.
So end of the day, I truly believe we need to totally remove the apartheid system, the characteristics of it, from the word to how people think about it. I can't have a 20-year-old now say the K word. Where is he learning this from?
Exactly.
Do you see? So people are
becomes a
still in this
generational
state. They haven't taken it serious enough that it's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to take it serious to that degree, and I think we would move better in a better direction where we deal with this. And then it goes back to the land issue.
Yeah.
It goes back to, then there's a better understanding, and again, like anything, implementation.
That's the I think that's the biggest issue in this country.
Yeah.
amongst the white people as well. It's the lack of understanding, and the I wouldn't say miscommunication. I just say a lack of communication between both races, or should I say all three races?
Yeah.
It's that, and the nice thing about you now with your Instagram, starting the whole Tembin course and Zigisi movement.
Exactly.
You know, I honestly do hope more people, or more light-skinned people in this country, more white people, start following you, because you are, and it comes to our discussion earlier about influencers.
Exactly.
You are a true influencer in that right, because you using an entertainment factor, but you also bringing across history, knowledge from your culture, but representing, I would say you are currently representing the entire black nation.
Look, that's in regards to that definitely is the aim, in terms of we need to tell each other stories, because the only person's story we truly understand here is, okay, we've got our freedom. economically, are we economically free?
Yeah.
As people of color,
Yeah.
from colored communities to black communities, are we economically free? Do we have continuous successful businesses that go into different markets which are white dominated? Are we at least reaching a level? We're not going to instantaneously be at the same level because you've
hundreds of years.
You've oppressed enough to build a strong structure.
Yeah.
And again, when I say that, I'm not saying every white person is racist. I'm not saying every white person is oppressing everybody else. But sometimes, in reality, when we're being honest, from executive positions to different markets, white businesses are more successful. And we haven't been taught the system of money correctly. We haven't been taught the system of business because I still think the schooling system in itself is not teaching how to do your taxes, how to start a business structurally, how to register.
We never learned that
in school. So I think we need to be taught these vital skills that once you go out the world and you decide to start a business, not everybody's an entrepreneur. I think that idea also needs to stop being sold in them, man. Everybody's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Drop what you're doing.
A little bit of a pipe dream.
Leave your work and just go be an entrepreneur. The economy is failing. I think everybody must just be an entrepreneur. No. Not everybody is made to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is made to be a mathematician. Not everybody is made to be something. But I'm not saying don't try.
Yeah.
But not everybody is made to do this because from what I've seen and what I've heard, I think entrepreneurship in itself, it's not a game. It's people. I see these tweets sometimes of people saying, well, if people think this is like a hunky dory, I have to. Some guy was like, I have to pay suppliers. I'm overdue. I have to feed my family. I'm in my first 6 years because what did they say? You only get your first profits after 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah. And that's a long.
So imagine you drop everything to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But yet again, there's been women who've been very successful in selling fruit and everything else to feeding their families. Of course, because circumstance has forced them to do it.
Yeah.
So
circumstance.
I truly believe like a lot of people have a head start in starting business.
Yeah,
a lot of people because
of course, man.
They've been given the pedestal, and granted, their families worked flipping hard. Their fathers worked hard,
we definitely
and they've given them the opportunity. But I always simply say, people shouldn't be ignorant to the fact that a lot of people don't have that head start or that privilege in that sense. So don't look down on people and say, "Oh, get a job, do this because this is what I did." No, but Gerard, you had what? Yeah. Your family had almost 50 million rand, and they've given you, here, son, here's 1.2 million, start your business, or I'll invest 5 million in your business.
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
Again, I'm not saying all white people were rich. I'm not saying all white people were successful. There were some that were poor. And I think a lot of people I always hear this, black people always say, but how the hell were some white people poor during the era of apartheid? Because the system was made for you to succeed. So, which is something I would want to actually ask. But I think in any system, true. I guess you would find poor people, but they will be taken care of. So I don't necessarily think.
I mean, when you're at the robots and you see a white beggar at the robots, it's so much easier to give them money. It's so weird, like even a person of color, myself, a person of color, you're at the robot and you see this white beggar and you're like, man, you feel more sorry.
What you think? Because it's like you think,
because it's like
they really probably were at
top
and then they
it's like, wow, you come from privilege.
Do you see how mentally colonized he is? Do you see how already? Because
it's like
you've already thought, you've been fed the idea to say, okay, a white person, okay,
so weird, bro.
He's poor now, so there must have been at the top. They probably had successful businesses. Now they're poor, versus black people who are continuously trying. Those who are educated, those who stand at those robots, who have degrees, but are not being chosen because the system in itself has oppressed them in a sense.
Yeah.
So, you've been colonized mentally.
And I'm sure, I'm sure there are some black people, some other colored people that are also like, damn.
No, look, I guess, I don't know, but for me, look.
But now, fuck, I don't.
Look, for me, I have a level. I just give regardless if you're white, if you're black, if it doesn't matter.
Sure.
I'll give you cash
Yeah.
when I can and to help you. I think I don't prejudge in a sense, but I'm not gonna lie. There are moments where I do think like, damn, you must have.
Yeah, that...
Because the idea that I said earlier on, I said you had a system that was made for you to succeed.
That's the thing.
Succeed, not in a sense become a millionaire, but to be fine and to be okay. In our case now, due to bad leadership, due to corruption, due to all these things, a system that would have been so successful in helping everybody. And I think, I know why people feel as if they're on the... They're being pushed out in a sense of, BEE is being implemented, all these problems. You guys are getting everything. We're being kicked out because we're white.
Yeah.
I think to a degree...
They feel like they having their backs pushed against the wall.
And what needs to be understood then, the question will then say, okay, if you feel this way, what are you doing then to help the system, to help the people around you? And sometimes I get the story of, my maid, I give her like clothes. I give her, I take, but the reality is, are you willing to go that extra mile for a system? That's why government is there. Government is there to implement legislation, programs that are going to help people of color get, that were previously disadvantaged, get further in life through grant systems, through basic like umsobomvu for youth fund, for business. So all these things are there, and I think for people of color, we are not given this information enough, especially now, because umsobomvu has been there. They fund youth businesses. All these things have been there, but I don't think they share the information enough to say, well, here's an opportunity. And then again, it goes back to the point what you taught in high school, business plans, what you taught tax, you taught what tax means, because this is what you're going to deal with for the rest of your life when you work.
Yeah.
So I think overall, our education system needs a whole overhaul from maths to what we need to actually learn to get by in life in terms of if you want to study to be a doctor. Structured stuff, let's not waste time on things we know we're not going to use. Let's rather structure a system that's going to prepare a young male, female, because as soon as they step in the direction of university, we set.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's Japan or China. For the first, I think if you're in, I think like standard or sub A, grade R, from grade R till I think for the first 3 or 4 years, they don't do tests. They want the child to be able to think. They don't suppress the mind to this is the system and the system runs this way. No, for the first 3-4 years, I want the kid to be able to think freely. Which is so good because it's think freely will guide you, but I want you to think freely and think for yourself, and we will work around it. So now I'm igniting creativity from a young age. Yeah. And that's why, like I said, when you have old guard in parliament and old people who can't think for a 25-year-old, what does a 70-year-old person have to say about a 20-year-old in terms of business, in terms of job creation? Do they understand your average 20-year-old in South Africa? Do they understand whether it's white, colored? Like, do they truly understand? They don't, because they're really old. Yeah. So that is why I say, like you said earlier on, you need a young generation in parliament. It's like EFF is doing it. Yeah. I know people are going to disagree and whatever, but the reality is the EFF is implementing programs and implementing young leadership in their ranks, because the future needs to build and start now with young people. ANC is now doing it also, because I think, when one does something, you have to also do it, because you don't want to be left behind. DA has also done it often. But I truly think it needs to be done in a way that's going to build the country. Not done in a way because the other one's doing it, so therefore I'm going to have a young person, but I'm just going to suppress because I'm in charge type of mentality. So, I don't know. We've got too much potential in this country.
Got a lot of potential.
Way too much, man. And I think it's continuously being spoiled by wrong leadership, people making silly decisions, people who are there for different agendas to fill their own pockets up. And we see it every day. It's a disappointing fact having to wake up every week and you find somebody taking what's not theirs, what's meant for somebody who doesn't have much, and putting in their own pocket. it's literally treason. It's treasonous. It is. I
For
truly
sure.
believe, because you're taking something that's supposed to build a nation and you're utilizing it for yourself. So, I don't know, guys.
Speaking of stupid decisions,
You know.
man, I made a stupid decision like
Well, what?
I think 2 weeks ago. I stumbled upon this series called Love Island.
Oh,
I just got pulled into this trap, man. It's like the dumbest fucking series. Basically, a group of males and females from the UK,
in the UK.
all in Spain, Mallorca. It's like 6 women, 6 males, and they're all trying to find love
On an island.
on an island in Mallorca, and they all stay in this house.
How stupid can you be?
It's like Big Brother, but to find love.
On an island.
And I don't know why I got so trapped into this. It's so entertaining.
Exactly.
You know what the entertaining factor is?
What?
It's how these people think. It's how they think, and I look at guys and looking at the outside.
Yeah.
Like, you know how when we're all young and we're like, oh yeah, I got game. And then you're like on Google and you're like, who's that guy? Dating tricks and all that shit. How to pull chicks. You know, you thought, you were the shit, and then you watch this and you see it from the outside perspective, and you're like, what are you doing?
How dumb are you people on the show?
And women, oh man.
I heard about it.
Like, women say, oh, men have all these standards.
Yeah.
All 6 of these men are all like, you know, I'm not really bothered like how she looks. I just want to know if she's got good banter. if she's got good banter and good personality, and then we can crack on. And all these chicks are like, yeah, I hope he's 6'5", at least 6 foot taller than me. He needs to have muscles, and he definitely needs to have good banter. If he doesn't have good banter, there's no cracking on for us. You know?
That accent. I love it because I've seen it, and I can imagine it, like literally super tanned, blonde hair,
and then
so much
like
makeup.
I thought it was getting boring. And then like, oh, you got to vote the least compatible couple out, and I was like, oh shit, the least compatible couple. Someone leaves, and then boom, 2 new chicks being implemented. And I'm telling you, fire. These girls are fire.
But that starts like,
and all these guys are like, yeah, I'm in a relationship with Amber, and you know, my head's not gonna turn. And then Amber's like, oh my god, 2 new girls have come in. I hope Danny's head isn't gonna turn. And then his head's just like, 2 new girls, oh my god. And he's just like cracking on there, and then the other chick's getting upset, and then 2 new guys come in, her head's turning.
talk about it.
And it's like, oh my god. And now on the recent episode, guys, you gotta fucking watch Love Island. Go, I watch it legally. I got a twitch in my eye. I watch it legally on the dark web, the legal streaming site.
The underworld.
And on this new episode, so there's 4 of the original chicks and guys all coupled up.
Yeah.
And the guys went away on a guys day out.
Yeah.
And then while the guys were out, the chicks got a text message. So they get a text.
Serious?
And they get sent to a new house with 6 new guys. The guys come back, 6 new girls.
Serious?
Everyone that's coupled up is now separated with all
me?
these single dime pieces. Even the guys, there's one guy, his name is Ovi. He's like, hi, I'm Ovi. I'm a basketball player. And he's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's just like shredded. Tats everywhere. Jeez. And this one chick's like, yeah, my hair's not going to be turned. And then she looks like, oh my God, I think my hair's going to be turned. I feel sorry for Jordan, you know, because he's my type. He's 6'5", he's dark, he's handsome, and he's fit. That's what the British chicks love to say. They don't say he's ripped. It's like, oh, look how fit he is. He's so fit. I fucking love the British lingo, bro. It's a fucking
it's funny.
thing. It's like,
because my girlfriend, I think like 2 years ago, she put me on to that. She put me on. She's just like, she had watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it, but at first she's just like you. Just,
yeah, you
this
look
is
at
so stupid. How is it? And then you realize this is actually entertaining because they bring in these new
dynamics,
these
man.
new girls or these new guys to cause this ruckus.
Yeah,
or they'll bring a really cocky one onto the show who makes all the girls fight over him, and all the guys get jealous. And then,
dude,
and all of them are so like conceited. They love themselves.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's that typical. I don't know. It's like Liverpool.
And all got these strong accents,
Cockney and you know, I don't know what you talk about, but I love him, and we're gonna fight, and it's just like wow, I never knew humans. This is what I'm saying.
The tans,
orange,
the contouring.
I don't give a damn. That's not orange. That's burn. Because I think they get to the point where, well, shit, I'm not orange enough.
Yeah.
Well, you more orange than me. I'm gonna try to figure out a new orange that I can be more. And it's just ridiculous. And they got all this work on themselves.
When they take that shit off, oh my god.
They don't have eyebrows.
Completely different.
They don't have eyebrows. They don't have eyebrows.
That's my thing with this whole contouring thing. Like, you know what? Ladies, like, clearly men shouldn't.
Listen up, ladies.
Men shouldn't tell you what to do. And I'm a firm believer in that. You guys can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
But contouring, I feel like contouring is, it's just, man, it's a way to hide something that you don't want to show. It's a bit of a lie for me.
So you're being fooled, like you.
It's like putting on a physical mask.
Blasphemy! How dare you? I thought you looked a certain way. You don't look.
So no, I think different.
But I'm for it.
Different countries.
Women look beautiful
from watching a lot of this TV stuff.
Damn.
Look, for me, it's like, look. I always say, I don't know.
I'm fucking callous here.
Put whatever you want on your face. It's your face, it's your choice. If you love makeup, you love makeup.
But then the chick's gonna say like, oh, but what about my banter and my personality? I thought you liked me for that. But it's like,
then why did you put on so much makeup if you want me to like you for your banter?
What women don't, I think women do understand this. There's always physical attraction first. When it comes to guys, with us men, it's always physical attraction. It's like,
look at you
got a fat ass, check. Big boobs, check.
I look at your face. I'm like, okay, you're cute, you're beautiful.
You know,
whatever.
you thick, huh? You thick. You like thick peanut butter. You that thick peanut butter. You smear on the bread and just tear that bread up. You that thick, huh? I want you. You know. That's how we think, man. I mean,
no, but to a degree.
We're animals, man.
No, look, to a degree.
But then we crack on with the personality and
to a degree, it's like for me, in my case,
fool me.
It's like when I met my madam, my missus. She was beautiful, but literally for some odd reason.
But you like her, she looks good without makeup.
But here's the thing: I never looked at that. I never got the access on, but I never looked at that.
But did you met her at a braai, right?
I met her at a braai. I looked at.
So then she had no makeup on.
She had no makeup on. To a degree, she did, but it wasn't like.
But it wasn't like.
It was just normal, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I'm simply saying it wasn't. I think that wasn't the first thing that popped up. It was just, can you hold a conversation? Because I think as time goes by, we all get fooled in this world where, oh, you're so beautiful, got a perfect body. Blue eyes, and then when you have a conversation, it's like you are so clueless.
Yeah. Oh no,
you can't even.
Then you lose.
So now it's just like, so I'm just walking around with a doll.
Yeah, basically arm candy. That's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I think right now, in the generation of like free information.
Yeah.
Read a book or something. Read a site on, I don't know, on anything.
Open up a link on Facebook.
Exactly.
It's right there, man.
And
watch a podcast
it goes both ways.
Watch our podcast.
Yeah, watch it. It goes both ways. Men and women, where we men, in some cases, vanity, and we've got the perfect body. Oh, we're so beautiful, hot.
Yeah.
And we can't hold a conversation without talking about ourselves. Same with women. So I think generally, it's just like, stop worrying about how you look every flipping second. Worry about what's happening around you. Worry about what's happening in society. Worry about things that can really affect you. Because if you smudged with makeup, I don't really think that has much of an effect, Susie. And it's not going to screw up your taxes.
Yeah, even if you're super good looking, like it's not going to be the the seal.
Exactly.
I mean, I learned that firsthand in matric, man. I mean, I won't mention the name, but you know, like went out on a date with her prior to matric as well, and I don't know, it's just like she was a dime piece, like fire, and all the guys were like, "Yo, bro, she's hot, she's hot." But then for me, it's just like nothing. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
That
look, but generally, I think sometimes
it's just like that.
Remember, you get extroverts and introverts. So I think sometimes people are some women, a lot of women. I'm not gonna say some. A lot of women have strong capability, have strong personalities, but they're just introverts, and it comes across as okay. I'm so beautiful, and all I know is maybe just about myself, and my expression of speaking is me. How I look, that's me speaking. So I can walk in a room and heads will turn, so I'm good. But maybe somebody will come, how long can you hold a conversation? So I truly think, again, like I said, I think
banter is definitely key.
We need to know what's happening in society. We can't just think about how beautiful I'm looking, because shit, if there's a civil war, I don't think, Cara, your makeup's gonna help you. I don't think that's gonna help you. You know what I mean? So I really think, in essence, love yourself truly. Like we all say, we have to first love yourself in order to love anybody else. And I'm not going to blame anybody.
Hands down, man.
You have to love yourself before you love anybody else. But don't take it to a degree where you become so clueless on what's happening around you, where you judge people on how they look, and you forget, people have mental capacity. People can think. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I'm not saying be a flippant scientist. No, I'm not. I'm not saying. But if we chat,
like, just have some general knowledge.
Exactly.
I mean, I used to be like that. I mean, before, I think just after high school, I started venturing out even more, because my world was very narrow. And I mean, it was in, I think, beginning of high school where you started introducing me to the world, man. Because I was just like.
He became black, yo.
A horse with blinkers
on.
He
became part of the real society of South Africa, the oppressed.
I am basically T'Challa, and I was looking for the vibranium. Yeah, man. So.
Crap. I got a call.
What is the time? It's 4:40. We got 10 minutes. I definitely want to talk about. Do you want to answer your mom?
No, I'll do it now.
Oh wait, but it's red over there.
Red means it's still running.
Oh yeah, you still voice recording. You say we got these we got basically our iPhone earphones, the mic, and we just like connected it to our iPhones. Click voice recorder.
We're working on it here, guys. We're working on it.
Look, I mean, as freelancers.
Bear with us. Oh my god.
Shall we just end it here?
Like, on that note,
we're gonna end it here because mom's calling. We don't know what we're gonna call the podcast yet, but this is episode 1. We're probably just gonna use our names. I don't know, Jeff and Subs podcast 1. We'll probably do that for now.
Jeff and Subs talking smack.
If you have any name suggestions, just comment in the comments below, and then
tell us what you think.
What you think, honestly. We would have gotten into some more stuff, but it is what it is. We don't have internet. Mom's calling. Follow Subs at Sobantu _9.
Jefferson Lan.
Just at Jefferson Lan. The man's making moves in South Africa, educating. We making moves. We finally got our media company up. Black and Yellow Media. Black, yellow, that's Asian, right, black guy. That's how we roll in. So we put our first skit out there. Second skit's gonna come. I think we'll probably have a podcast on there. Maybe we might have it on a separate page. We're still thinking about that. But all our skits, short films that we're gonna be coming in the pipeline, YouTube series. It's all going to be on Black and Yellow Media, documentaries, the works, everything that involves film and acting, which we are venturing on and we're passionate about. We would have gotten into that, but we can't right now because Moms is calling. So,
on that note, appreciate you guys listening in. Tell us what you think. We're going to get better, we're going to improve, but we improve through you guys helping us. and we're helping you. Throw us some topics, we'll drop in the email. We're going to get everything structured. You can give us email topics, what you want to talk about.
Boom.
We can talk about it, man.
Exactly.
So enjoy. Peace.
Yeah, because we need that tender to get the new equipment. Alright. Goodbye. Just.